Hello everyone, welcome to the 14th development entry for Katy and Betty. So I decided to stream it live because why not? And I'm going to talk about the launch, which happened yesterday, and I'm going to talk about the Steam Festival, and I'm going to talk about the new features that are in the game right now. And of course there are a lot of spoilers, so if you want to play it yourself, maybe don't watch this just yet. But it's a small game, so it only takes about 1 or 2 hours. You can experience it yourself if you want. Alright, so just a quick note about the Steam launch yesterday. The launch was very strange. For the whole day I was looking at the Steam overlay, at the Steam dashboard, and there was no launch button at all. And I tried to remember if this was the case for the Half-Gate Trilogy, but I don't think it was that way. So I was stressed out about this the whole day, and I wrote a ticket to the Steam staff. And I think 9 hours later they finally replied. It was like 2 hours or 1 hour before launch, and they said, "Hey, I'm sorry about this. We are working on a fix. It seems to be a system-wide issue, and a lot of other games are affected by this, and really sorry about this, and we can help you launch it manually just now." And I said, "Okay, please launch it now." So normally I was planning to, make a little very romantic video of me hovering the mouse cursor above the launch button and clicking it and then smiling in the camera with a thumbs up, but no, it didn't happen. Instead it was just a Steam bug that launched my game. Anyway, yeah, basically 1 hour before launch I don't have a launch button, so I'm like, okay, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I guess. It's just Katy and Betty. It's okay, I can launch it next week. But anyway, all well. It all turned out fine in the end. What was also nice is that in general the feedback is really, really positive. I'm part of a few other communities on Discord and such, and yeah, it's actually a surprising amount of positive feedback, so I'm really glad that it gets received this well. About the Steam Festival, before the Steam Festival went live, Katy and Betty had about 190 wishlist entries, and after the Steam Festival ended, 1 week later, there were another 190 additional wishlist entry, which is a funny coincidence that is the exact same number. So about 400 in total. So yeah, that was the Steam Festival, and again the launch went really well, apart from that one fact that the launch button wasn't there. And I just wanted to say that I watched the stream from No Life King 85. You can watch his. You can also watch his stream on Twitch. He's a friend of Lupus Rex, which you might probably remember from the Half-Gate Trilogy soundtrack. And yeah, he's a really nice person, and the stream was really fun. So about features, the credit scene is completely revamped from the 2 weeks before. So there's now a complete credit scene with new music, and another feature was that I remade the supercharger with new sprites and sounds. The supercharger is here. Before the update, the progress bar used to be directly above the supercharger, and now it's above the gate. And I actually had a lot of fun adding the sound to it, because I don't know if you can hear it, but it is. So I actually added a bunch of notes that are in the same key of the background music, and there are 2 notes that I played, so there's a bit of a harmony as well. That was a lot of fun to implement. Probably one of the biggest new features is that whenever you switch, it now shoots a heart to the other one. And what I really like about this is that you can escape the heart. You can try to escape, but as soon as it catches up, it explodes into little ones. Another thing that I added is the eyes of Katy and Betty also follow the active menu in the pause menu. Up until now it was only Burgundy's eyes that followed the cursor in the options menu, but I also added this feature here. And I think I mentioned it in a previous development entry. Basically, you always have to cut out the pupils of the eyes, and it's kind of creepy if you see the sprites without the pupils, but yeah. I also added Burgundy to level 5. The problem that I've seen is that people did not immediately realize that you can switch characters, so I added Burgundy and they tell you that you can switch characters. I know it's really a small addition, but I've seen a new stream and yeah, it immediately made things more apparent. And last but not least, I added a new sprite for the portal here. I think it's a bit better than the old one. I'm not too keen on the tail end, yeah. I think it's a bit too straight. Could probably fix it in Affinity Photo somehow, but you know. Yeah, there was a funny bug actually in level 17. The bug was that if you start at this level, then Katy would actually look like, well, Hedgar would actually have the sprite from Katy, but without the pupils, and it was kind of scary. So if you just started the level and didn't move, then it still had the sprite from Katy, and as soon as you moved, it changed to the sprite for Hedgar. It makes me think that maybe I should make a Hauki next. Now that I know how. Just add a bunch of sprites without pupils. By the way, I just wanted to say that you know, for someone who is more or less known in quotes for Halfquake, the response from Halfquake fans is really cool. So I'm really happy that people give Katy and Betty a chance, because I know it's a bit of a change in direction. Okay, so this one I called the strong leader, because this one is always first. Then this one is called the creepy ghost. So, and then we have, I think this one is the sad ghost, obviously, and the sad ghost used to be always the last one, but I'm actually not sure if he is the last one. But we can always, okay, this is definitely not the last one, because the last one has the highest sound. Yeah, that is the last one. He has the highest note. The leader has the lowest note. And okay, so this one is called the funny ghost. And this is I think it's called the broad ghost on fire. It doesn't, so again, they don't have a name, they just have attributes. And he is called Pixie, because he looks like a bunch of pixels. And this is my favorite. He actually has a name called Monroe. And I think you know this character from Agatha Christie. So Mono because he only has one eye, and Poirot because he has the little, you know, I don't know what it's called in English. Mustache, yes, right. And he is the creepy ghost. Very simple. And that's the names that I have for them. Also, fun fact, I used to have another one, and he was called the Spidey Ghost, and he had like 8 eyes and legs on the side. But yeah, I didn't include him in the game. I thought he was a bit too creepy. Yes, Power, I'm actually planning on releasing the soundtrack. The problem is that currently all of the music that you hear in the actual levels, they are all separate WAV files. I think there are about 24 different files. So the problem is that I have to make a sort of real track out of them. It will be a bit more work, but definitely planning on doing that. So yeah, Katy and Betty is out. It on another Discord server, a person called B asked me how I feel, and I said, I'm not sure. I think I have to think about it for a while. It's definitely strange because I thought that I would be a bit more used to it, you know, to releasing things and stuff like that, and then seeing other people playing it. But it just yesterday when I watched the stream by No Life King 85, I just had for just a quick second I had a really small out-of-body experience, like why is this game on this person's screen? It was really strange. But yeah, it's out now. That's pretty cool. For the next 2 weeks I do have one more development log entry planned, because I definitely want to fix a few smaller things that have come up, and I also want to work on the translation next. Definitely want to add German translation and Austrian translation, which will be a lot of fun. And of course Russian. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching, and of course thank you all for all the positive feedback for the game, and yeah, it just feels nice that the game is out and that people can play it. Oh, by the way, Chigelak will stream it on Saturday at 4 PM Central European time, I think. I will be there too. Just in text form, but I will be there. Alright everyone, thanks again, and see you soon. Goodbye.